So the game of Paddleton is purely invented, and we really like the idea that these guys are very unique, and their bond is very sweet and special. And Paddleton, to me, really typifies what is special about these guys. Is, you know, they're not the kind of guys who can go out and play a game of tag football with a bunch of other guys. They're very shy. They love being together, but with no one else really. And most importantly, Paddleton is a game that you can play with your friend, but not against your friend. Because I think they love each other so much, they don't want to beat each other at anything.
Yeah.
And so the game is played by hitting a racquetball with a tennis racket off of an enormous wall and having it ricochet and then bounce without touching it into the trash can. And then you have to take turns hitting the ball. And the game is won when the ball enters the trash can and stays in the trash can.
Yeah, so sometimes it bounces out.
And it's a fucking heartbreak. I really like Outliers, and I'm really interested in just kind of strange and different people that don't quite click in. And I also like very tiny things that you can then extrapolate bigger things from. You know, kind of like those epically small things that when you really look closely at them contain the world.
So that's kind of like how in Everybody Loves Raymond, that was the best part that I liked, is the minutia.
The minutia,
the minutia, not the way Seinfeld did it, you know, because Seinfeld found the quirky, odd.
Yeah.
But the minutia that everybody identifies with, and then we talked about them. We had a couple meetings and we talked in depth about kind of who they are. And
you built pretty much your whole backstory.
Yeah, I did a little backstory to try to figure out how my guy got to where he got.
Yeah, it was good.
I sent it to you, and you went, "Oh, this Ray Romano won't leave me alone."
I guess we have to cast him now. Yeah. This thing's 100 pages.
But then we talked about, just for the, not for the comedic part. I mean, it was all giving it flavor, but because we knew these guys were into trivia and things and memorabilia and little things. And so we would brainstorm on those little things. And, you know, some of them made it, some of them didn't. You know?
And the process is pretty organic in that we shot from an outline mostly. Every now and then I would write some pages the night before we would shoot a scene to have just a structure to go along with. But we would never memorize those things. The goal being to try to get something fresh and improvise that felt, you know, like as real as possible in the moment. And it was quite an intimate crew, and we shot the movie as much as possible in sequential order of the script. So every night we would all gather in this like little mess hall they had in town, and we hired some friends of ours to come cook for us. And we would sit around, talk about what we shot that day, what we did well, what was a surprise, how we could build on it for the next day. And I've just found that process, you certainly lose things by being able to prepare like people do in theater. But what you gain in spontaneity and the freshness of it is always exciting.